The first trade's coming through. 22,575 is where we are at. So not very far away from all-time highs. Sensex is also starting up as indicated earlier. And there is 200 plus points gain. Mid-cap index is up about 0.5. And I think the small-cap index is starting up in the green as well right now. So this is the open as things stand right now. Lots of stocks are starting with gains. So let's take it to Sonia, who's got these rates. Sonia.
Okay, so let me, since the market is open in the green, right, let me start off with some positive stocks. First up, we have Titan, which has reported a steady growth of 18% in the jewelry business, up almost about 1% over there. Now let's move to the CEO resignations and see how the stocks are faring. First up on Wipro, not bad, given that, the CEO, Thierry Delaporte, has resigned. The sentiment was negative because of higher top management churns, etc. But this is not a bad outcome at all. In fact, now Wipro has moved into the green. Let's see what Bandhan Bank is doing, because the founder CEO just told us a while back that it was his personal decision. It was voluntary for him to leave the organization, but there is a lack of a succession planning, and that is something that has spooked the street, down almost about 9% over there. Jefferies has downgraded Bandhan Bank to an underperform from a buy, so keep an eye out on that. Tata Steel is the other one. Look at that, 2% higher. Highest quarterly delivery is what the company has done. India business is strong. Europe has recovered, and the street likes that, up 1.5% over there. Let's move on to TCS. Now, that's in focus because the IT companies report their numbers starting this week. TCS reports on Friday. Ahead of that, there's just a bit of positive sentiment that we're seeing there. Cholamandalam is the other one. Q4 disbursal growth is 17%. AUMs have risen almost 36%. So watch this one. Nestle, the board has approved a royalty increase from 4.5% to 5.2% in the next 5 years. The stock is not reacting much, flat with a positive bias. Nykaa, I was mentioning that earlier. Good Q4 update. The Q4 GMV growth is in its early 30s, and a lot of these new age tech businesses have now come into their own. You've seen it with Zomato. Now Nykaa is picking up as well, 4% higher there. And then you have Voltas. We were mentioning that earlier, 8% higher on Voltas. The Q4 AC sales volume growth is very, very strong. So that is reflective. And, one step out of the studio and you'll see the kind of heat overall in Mumbai. So many of these AC manufacturers will do very well. So up 8% there. But otherwise for the market, not bad. 70 points higher now. The Nifty is inching towards the 22,600 mark.
Well, that's right. Sonia, thanks a lot for that. Well, a few more stocks. Voltas is what Sonia mentioned. Even Blue Star's made a fresh 52-week high. So both those two are chugging along. Voltas, we had mentioned earlier today, it could be the stock of the day, and it's proving out to be. Mangalam had briefly mentioned that Godrej Consumer as well could be in focus because those numbers look good according to him. And boy, the stock has reacted positively. So that one is up close to around 3.5–4% as we speak. Force Motors, they came out with their operational performance and those numbers look very, very good. For the month of March, it's up close to 34%. The total domestic sales numbers, in comparison to February, it's up close to 37%. So that one's just flying away. In the last 1 year or so, the stock has more than doubled. It's up close to around 8% as we speak. Throw in there a few more stocks in terms of top volume traded stocks. IRB Infra is up close to around 4%. Massive volumes out there. If Vodafone's going to survive, Indus Stars is going to be the stock in focus, and that stock continues to chug along. That's up close to around 3% in today's trading session. On the flip side, a few of the stocks are under some pressure on larger volumes. Union Bank is a little bit lower. Wipro is now almost in the green, so keep an eye out on that stock as well. But Bandhan Bank, I think that's the other stock of the morning on the downside, under big pressure, down close to around 8%.
Nigel, Indiabulls real estate, which started about 5% higher, is now down 1%, right? So that's quite telling. So 136 on Indiabulls real estate after, open, which was strong. And it's, of course, leading up to this news flow, stocks done well. So maybe there is some profit booking on news which is coming through. A few other names. Cochin Shipyard is the second biggest volume-led gainer right now. So shipbuilders as a theme continues to do very well. 5%, 1133 is where Cochin Shipyard is at now. Naukri, which is InfoEdge, I think we highlighted 5.5% higher. That's a big pop coming through on InfoEdge. Garden Reach is the other shipbuilder on your screen. InfoEdge 5.5 there. IRB, I think we mentioned. Adani Green, look at that. Adani Green has got significant volumes. It's up 3%. Stocks at about 1965. Aster DM is up 9%. So that's again a large winner. 496 coming through on Aster DM from the lows. Godrej Consumer is up 3.5%. I think Tourism Finance Corporation, the only reason I'm mentioning is because it's got volumes, 4%, 4.5% higher on TFCIL. So stocks at about 179. Tejas Network, 4% higher. Something like a HBL Power is back about 500 rupees. It's a big winner over the last 2 years. So that's doing well. Skipper is up about 3.5 odd percent. And Signature Global, I think we did sort of talk about this. But volumes are lacking, so I think we'll have to give it some time. Adani Ports is on the other side, right? It's down about 2%, and it's got volumes, large volumes. And I think there's been some blocks which have happened there. So 1343 on, look at that, volume, 7.6 million shares on Adani Ports at this point in the day with a couple of minutes of trade behind us. So definitely there are some blocks which have happened. And of course, Bandhan and Indiabulls Real Estate, as I mentioned, are number 2, number 3 in terms of volume-led losers. Sonia.
I just want to make one mention on M&M. The stock is at a fresh high today. In fact, it's been gaining a lot of ground, and recently CLSA had, raised their target price on M&M to 2,074 rupees. Now, what's happening in M&M is that its market share in the passenger vehicle space has been going up steadily, slow and steady. So last year, for example, its market share was about 9.2% at the end of FY23. And in the last quarter, it rose to almost 12%. So this is what's happening in M&M, and the reason why you're seeing a big up move in the stock, a fresh high on M&M this morning.
But just take a look at Voltas. It's up 10% now.
Oh, wow.
I mean, just a few minutes, the stock is up 10%.
As the temperature rises, the Voltas stock price also rises.
It's just flying away, and just I think around 10 or 9 months ago, the stock was at a fresh 52-week low. It was at around 800 rupees, and people are saying it's losing market share, the quality is not good, margins were under pressure. From there, that's a frontline name that's given you more than 50% return. So, some of these opportunities for well-run companies, they're proven to be a blessing in disguise. Yeah. In July, I think it went to around 750 odd. Yeah, that's what the chart is telling you. So, big up move is what you've seen out there. Fresh 52-week high was what it was at last week, and now it's making a fresh 52-week high this morning as we speak.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it basically had 2 washout summers, right? Yes. And so the price is roughly around where it was 2 years ago now, right? I mean, 1,300 odd where was the price in October of 2021. And we're now, of course, we're crossing that level at this point in time. So that's a big move coming through.